Okay guys, welcome back. Back with my wingman.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to do a little bit of testing. We just spent some time with Ryan going over the sort of product specs and sort of the identity of each product from all the new irons, the hybrids, the utilities. So as a full lineup, it's pretty impressive.
It's good looking
isn't
stuff.
it?
You're impressed, yeah?
Yeah, really impressed. I think it's these kind of fall launches have developed into bigger launches, and it's really cool for guys like us that we don't have to wait, January to January,
Sure.
PGA show and that sort of thing. We can get excited about this time of year.
Because people are still playing golf right now for a solid, hopefully 2 more months, at least
Yeah.
1.5.
Truth be told, this is probably as good a time of the year to get fit as any.
It's true, yeah.
When you've had some, half a season of reps under your belt, especially in a seasonal environment like we are here in Canada. But people are well into their season. Their game is probably not going to get much better.
Yeah, your
than it is
swing's
right
in
now.
shape, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah.
So I think the back end of the year is becoming the time to get fit.
That's a good point.
So what do you have here?
So we're starting with T300.
T3. Okay, so the largest head profile.
Work our way down.
And we've got your Modus 120X in there, standard
Yep.
lens, so we can sort of compare throughout.
Got the line angle set and everything, so
Okay.
we're
A
ready.
little flat.
It's a little flat, yes.
Okay. Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
So let's see how this
Let's
goes.
take a little peek. Pro V1X.
Kobe 1X, whole
Love
bag
it.
of them.
So these are 7 irons, Matty, we're testing with. Obviously in the shop we're normally testing with 6s.
With 6, yeah.
So T300 7 iron loft is 29.
29.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so comparable with your
Yeah,
your,
it's same
your
as my
6.
6, right?
Yeah. So a little bit stronger.
We hit a couple in warm up, and I can confidently say it went a lot higher than my 6 did. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nice and high ball flight.
Well, that's something we're going to talk to as we go here, and some of the reasons we go stronger lofted.
Yeah.
Ryan and I talked a little bit about that in the sort of product review, but you could see it warming up. I mean, that
hell
ball
yeah.
was
It's
up there,
sky high,
wasn't it?
Which is what you're looking for, right?
Yeah. Okay. Let's hit a few.
All right.
And that is some serious height.
That's cool.
All right. So, we know what we're getting, right, with regards to the sort of stronger loft. It's going to go further.
Yeah.
Right. But that was 139.3 ball speed.
Jeez.
So launched at 16. Here's the amazing part. It retained tons of spin. 6,500 in spin.
That's quite good, yeah.
Right. So when you're kind of getting a little bit obviously stronger in loft, you're going to start to worry about, am I able to retain spin,
Yeah.
etc. Nothing to worry about on that.
I'm not even sure my 7 iron spins that much. I actually don't think it does. That's a lot.
That's a lot. So that was 143 feet in peak height.
Is that right?
So it's able to get up there with tons of velocity at the same time.
It's crazy.
Okay. Really, really good stuff. 139.1, 0.2 of a mile an hour difference between those first two. Again, 16 launch, spin rate 6,300 that time.
Wow. That's good.
That's your best one, I think, of
Yeah. Definitely
of
the
the
straightest. They feel, I was saying to Ryan before, they actually feel quite, I think, traditional compared to stuff we've tested like in this size.
Yeah.
Sound is good. It's very kind of, what are you sensing with that sound?
Well, do you know the funny thing is, and doing a little bit of sort of pre-game research before we came out here, I'd watched a couple other reviews on these.
Yeah.
I've never done that before, to be honest.
No, you don't.
I've never. So sometimes I had kind of heard people commenting on the noise and stuff like that. Outdoors,
Yeah, I wouldn't call
there's no issue with
wouldn't
the
call
noise.
it a noise at all, no.
No.
it's nice.
But indoors, I was hearing that kind of
Yeah.
click and thwack.
Echoing off the walls a bit.
It's what it is. It's just that difference of acoustic indoors versus outdoors. So,
Yeah.
I think for people you're doing that sort of testing indoors with us or with any other facilities, bear that in mind that acoustic doesn't translate to what it is in sort of real world.
No, it just sounds solid out
It
here.
really does sound solid. So that was 139.9 ball speed, 14.2 launch, 6,900 in spin.
Surprise, that's good.
I mean, that's coming in at 58-degree land angle, right? Wild. So even though the lofts are that much stronger, I mean, technically you couldn't play that iron.
yeah.
It's too fast. for the way you launch it, it's because you're able to retain speed with spin.
Yeah.
Normally with these things, you kind of have one or the other. You're either fast, that makes the ball go up, or there's some additional spin with the launch, and that can obviously creates lift.
So you'd shortlist this for someone who kind of needs both then?
Absolutely. The guy who's maybe struggling for distance, needs some forgiveness on off-centre strikes, needs a little bit of height. You obviously don't be put off by the fact the loft starts stronger. There's a reason. There's kind of built-in technology why those lofts start stronger.
That's the highest 7-iron I think I've ever hit.
That's
pretty cool.
I know. Long pitching wedge for the height of that.
Let's go down to the T2 and see how that does.
Let's do the T2 and see how that compares. Okay, T200. Sort of what most people will sort of compare to the sort of AP3 model from last year.
Right.
Last year AP3 was sort of new to the lineup. The merge of AP1 and sort of AP2 in most people's eyes. Different sort of design. This one has a forged face.
Okay. So the previous one did not.
That's right. It was a cast model. So first impressions.
It looks quite good.
I think this is going to be the one that kind of this is the volume product.
Yeah, I think I can see this being where most people would kind of fit in, just based on your swing speed and stuff like that. But no, it looks good at address. I don't think that T300 looked too much different, but this is just a little more compact.
Okay. 1 degree weaker in lofts.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha. So we're still expecting this to go off,
fairly
good
high
distance and good ball speed, but maybe not quite as much as T300.
All right. Hit it pretty well. I might have. Yeah. It's drawn back. I thought I pushed it, but it was good.
Okay. So 133.7 on the speed there. Huh. So a little bit of a drop in speed.
Yeah, it felt like pretty much the same strike.
Good.
I think.
There are players who are, call it higher handicapper, but are fast.
True.
So, T300 for that guy isn't always the best solution.
Yeah,
they want forgiveness, but they don't always want max speed. I mean, you've dropped there 6 miles an hour ball speed, which is probably a good thing.
Well, it's back into the range that I think is closer to other stuff we've tested.
Really nice strike there, bud.
Yeah.
So that was a bit quick. I could really hear how good
really
that one was.
Good,
That was quality. So you are starting to pick up on the acoustic differences between both irons now. So this one's starting to sound a little bit more dull, more muted, more into that sort of, what the better players maybe like to hear.
Yep.
I think there's a part of that acoustic that, when the higher handicapper hears that noise, they go, "Oh, that was a good one."
You hammered it.
So it's good for the confidence
so
and that
true.
sort of thing. Whereas obviously, the way noise translates into feel, so as you get towards the better players, they're not necessarily looking for that.
You don't want as much of that popping sound.
Yeah. So that was 136.7 ball speed, 15.8 launch. Spin kicked up a lot. There's 70, almost 8,000 on that one.
Wow.
Good boy. Pretty good strike again.
Good, yeah, just a little pulled it looks like. Yeah, but hit it well.
135 ball speed there. It's gonna, 135, 16.6 launch, 6,300. 176 in that one. Yeah, good.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's going to be popular, isn't it?
I think so.
There's going to be a lot of people like that one.
I think there's a bit of offset there, but it's not, as someone that usually draws it or will miss with a pull, I really only had kind of one pull with both.
Right.
And I'm prone to do that with my clubs anyway.
Yeah. Okay. T100?
Yeah, let's look at it.
Okay, Matty boy, T100.
Looks really good.
Yeah, of obviously the lineup, this is the one that would probably catch your eye and
I should have brought my AP shoes from the garage.
That's
my
right.
Originals, I totally forgot.
Yeah, the OGs. So
this is really nice.
Yeah,
sharp.
Different. So the progression becomes very apparent when you get this one in your hand.
Yep.
That top line is the thinnest,
come
sort of in this category of iron that Titleist have had.
You can see that 200 being a nice blend with this though.
Right. And some longer irons. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So where T300 and T200 obviously progressed on loft, this one is more like the lofts of 620 CB and MB.
So this is quite a bit.
So yeah, this is 34 in the 7-iron. The boy, nice.
Nice. I think it's come down a little bit, but it's
In terms of
height,
peak?
maybe a bit. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, well, no, it was still pretty high there,
Was it,
135, and ball speed was retained really well there versus
how fast was that?
T200. That was 133.
Really?
Yeah. Okay.
My aim.
So what do you feel difference-wise off the head, strike? What are you getting?
I think it just feels a little bit more traditional, like
Yeah.
like my irons would. But it's still, I think the one that I towed, I know I lost speed, but if the direction was basically right on line where I'd aimed it.
Okay. I mean, you've turned that one over a little bit there, obviously, and picked up some additional yardage
Yeah,
and
I just
that sort of thing on that one. But you know, in terms of the height retention, even on that one, 6,600 on a bit of a pulley one, where that's the one you worry about the spin rate dropping when the face gets a little bit shut to the path.
Right.
Solid there.
That's a good swing, yeah.
Yeah.
So are those come down a fair amount on ball speed, or are they?
131, so I mean 131, 133, so sitting in that kind of low 130s ball speed, kind of exactly what we would expect for you. And recently your speed with the 6 irons been like on your set, 137, 138. So this is kind of right,
where it should be,
right in there where it should be on sort of weaker lofts even than you carry. Your 7 iron right now is at 33.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, it's 1 week, so you're 29 in your 6, 33 in your 7.
Yeah, no, I like that a lot.
Okay.
It's a little shorter heel to toe than mine. Actually, I kind of like it. It looks good.
You could see a lot of people, a lot of T100, T200 sort of combos.
Blended, I would, yeah. I think that would be maybe this down to 6 iron, and then you could play 2 more irons in the T200.
Okay,
let's get into the
the 620s. Okay, 620 CB.
Looking good, isn't it?
It looks really good. This would be sort of, I would say this would be my pick out of the 5.
One's for you, yeah.
Just for what I like to see, profile wise. I really like the T100, but I'm so drawn to the clean satin look of that. I love the sort of sole configuration where there's a little bit of camber, there's a little lead edge
quite
relief.
a bit on there, isn't there? Yeah.
Quite a lot.
Yeah.
Quite a lot. And we talk about that, more and more for turf interaction, whether you're the guy who's a little bit on the shallower side, and that early entry into strike causes a little bit of loss of ball speed.
So that just keeps it kind of from digging in?
Just allows you to glide that little bit more rather than having a very abrupt lower leading edge, Matty, where you're going to grab.
I think at address, I don't think it looks much smaller than T100, not overly.
Yep, probably profile wise they're not a million miles away
Fairly
from one
similar.
another. Yeah.
Is this the same loft, or has this come up a little bit?
What's the loft on that one?
1 week.
35. Okay, and that's MBCB. Really good. Don't know if you could have struck it any better than that.
That's the best I had today.
So height wise, with the wind today, 128. So pushing it slightly up in our little headwind here, 114 normalized. Okay, so we are seeing a little bit of lift.
So 14 extra feet from the wind.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep. So in terms of distance, sort of loss, that was 163 on carry distance.
Wow.
175.6 normalized.
That's good. it's good. Drew back a bit. I would imagine that one will be a little spinnier. I struck them both pretty well.
Really good strike. Retained a lot of ball speed there, actually, Matty.
Yeah. Are those staying above 130?
Yes, 130.6. 21 yards of distance loss off that wind there.
Yeah,
kind of got a little puff up a wind.
Is that like 7,000 spin or something?
8,100. Okay, want to hit MB?
Yeah, definitely.
Let's do it. Okay, Matty, I just said a little prayer for you.
This is good looking.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? It's, I mean, you need to be a ball striker though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I was kind of happy that they fit with 7 irons here, because I would imagine, like, pitching wedge through 7 or 6, you could live with this. You might not be so nervous. But I did look at, there's a 3 iron and a 4 iron back there. Those are small.
Yeah.
Like, that's where it would get in your head a bit.
So what are your sort of first impressions looking at the profile?
I think it looks from address, as long as you don't turn it around, you kind of would be okay with, it looks like the CB for the most part. You just psychologically know there's nothing there to help you.
And talk to this a little bit, because so many people watching the channel and they'll go, you know, Matt's a great, you know, ball striker, etc., etc. You just wouldn't, you're not thinking about this sort of iron for yourself, really,
I don't think so. Well, how would you phrase it? Is there any benefit to it?
I think
for me,
for you and the sort of the little golf you play, I think that's a part of it. You know, you have to be on top of your game.
Well, I think I play a fair amount, but I don't think I've been working on my swing enough,
right,
to where. Well, I shouldn't say that. I would rather just go play golf and at least know that if I toe it an inch, I can, you know, I won't be 30 yards short or something like that.
And we know that you and the toe of the golf club are
best friends. Yeah.
So that's a part of it as well, knowing your strike tendencies and kind of where you do tend to hit it. That's another part of it, knowing if you need a little protection on some of those mishits.
The one that I towed with T100 just felt okay, like it was fine. I don't think I would have lost too much distance. I'm not going to try to tow one, but if I do, I would imagine we won't see quite the same thing from this.
Very true.
It's good, just to pull. Divot looks smaller.
I was going to say it looks way smaller, so you've got two parts to that divot. You've got the entry point, which is light brown, the middle, which is really dark, and then the sort of exit point is light again. So kind of that turf interaction, how that's working for you there is really nice. I think that's one of those things that people are looking for. You know, why would a set become progressive? Why would you look at a combo set? You know, as you want the clubs to perform specifically for the job, right? So in those scoring clubs where angle attack is going to get a little bit steeper because a shaft shortens and is more vertical, you know, you are going to start to introduce different variables. We talk a lot about forgiveness and retaining ball speed and that sort of thing. That divot to me was by far the best one of the day.
Yeah,
nice. And that's probably where, you know, that combined with a great strike is where you've retained so much output there.
That's a good point. There's definitely something different about how it's coming out.
Well, I love that we've kind of done it down the middle of the other two, and looking at these,
you can really see it.
It's really nice. Ball speed's 132.3, so you're really keeping that speed consistent. That's the key to that. It's not so much that it's good that it's high or, you know, bad that it's low.
It's the same, right?
It's just that it's the same.
Yeah.
That consistency. We maybe got a little more divot there, you think?
So it felt like more earth. I thought the strike was good. Did I lose some speed there?
It's just calculating.
It didn't feel quite as clean, but I don't think I fatted
You were on the ball there. Now you're right, 130.3. So
pretty good.
You retain most of that.
I mean, those were the best three strikes of the day.
They were.
Which is strange to say the least, but interesting though.
Very interesting, and you know why you should never go into a fit with sort of preconceptions.
Yeah, good point.
As to what you're in for.
And in the opposite direction too, there'd be just as many people saying, I'm coming here for blades. I'm not really open to the other ones.
I know.
I've done the opposite. I've kind of said, well, I'm not really open to this.
Yeah.
Relatively. But in testing it, I saw that this, I'm not going to say I would play this down to a 3-iron, but I think maybe 7 to wedge might be something I could do for sure.
Well, looking at that turf interaction
this is nice.
And your ability to sort of flight the ball, and I mean, looking at that, the flight came down a little bit there, so that was kind of 113, 110 was what the height those were coming out at. That's normalized. Nice. Really controlled. That
last one actually almost reached that green, which into this much wind with that much left, I think is quite an overperforming shot.
Yeah.
No, it's nice.
That was probably the surprise package, wasn't it?
I'm surprised, yeah.
Between that and how high T300 went,
that was cool.
with the stronger lofts.
I think a lot of people will love that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, that's the full kind of run through the new irons from Titleist. There's something in there for everyone.
Absolutely.
Isn't there?
Oh yeah, there's no way
Top
someone's going to not find the right one out of that lineup. So.
No, love it. Excellent.
Very good.
Okay, guys, stay tuned for more tests. We're going to run through the hybrids and the utility irons and see how those transition into these.
Sounds good.
Okay, we'll see you again soon.